Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I am James Corden's left boob.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
You're a massive tit, and you are.
It's true. Keep hearing it in the comments section, so I thought I'd just lean into it.
Yeah.
Thought snuggle up to it.
Lovely.
Yeah, there you go. Did you introduce yourself, Office Bloke Daz?
Yeah, there you go.
On YouTube.
Boom.
Yeah, so we are the Office Blokes, a true factual statement. You can join this channel. You can become a member. It's not £1.50, unfortunately, because YouTube wouldn't let us do a £1.50 tier.
Ah, well, never mind.
Absolutely shocking.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, you get access to our weekly podcast, which some have said is the
shit.
single worst podcast they've ever heard. Where we
It was last week, anyway.
Oh, that's good, because I wasn't involved.
Exactly.
I wasn't here.
yeah. Anyway, the 15 most expensive buys on porn stars.
Yeah, I like porn stars.
I'm gonna press it this time. Watch. There you go.
I've not watched it for a while, but it's something I used to watch quite often.
So did I.
Yeah, something quite regular.
I went there and queued up outside for ages, and they're filming. It's not open to the public, so there's just a huge queue of people outside, and we got bored.
I would queue up. It'd be minimal stuff that I queue up for.
Yeah, it was like 40 degrees, and they missed
Wow.
they have these little mist sprays that kind of cool everyone down. But we're like, do we really give a shit about going into a porn shop where these guys aren't going to be there? They're obviously filming and stuff, but you're not going to walk in and Rick just serves you and appraises something for you.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not
The
sure
only thing
where
I'd
I've seen
queue
this
up for
before.
is things like if I had to go on a plane, for example, you have to queue up to get on the plane, or
Yeah.
something that you need to do.
Yeah.
But if I'm going somewhere, I went to a restaurant a couple of weeks ago, there's a queue to get in.
Yeah, if you've got a choice, then.
Again, it's like, it must be good, there's a queue, and it's got 5-star. I went, oh, the fuck.
Yeah, it might be shit because there's a queue.
It might only be like a 20-minute wait. I went, I'm for 20 minutes. I'm standing in a queue for 20 minutes. I can go somewhere to eat.
Queue means nothing. It used to make you queue outside Hollister, didn't they, all the time? But
What's that?
Shop.
just shop.
Clothes
like
shop.
A clothes shop.
Queue at a clothes shop
Yeah, you just go-
outside.
Yeah, you used to go to the Trafford Centre. You used to have people queuing outside, and you used to go in. And it was like, how they were in. You said, fucking hell, what's going on
I
here?
asked
It's a joke.
I said, why are you queuing? You know, well, so it was like a Lego. I went, why are you queuing outside like Lego or whatever? They went, oh, there's a new something coming out. And fucking queue is mad. I'm like, you fucking mad.
Yeah, not for me.
Me neither.
I was walking back from the pub one night years ago, and there was loads of kids queuing up outside Waterstones for the new Harry Potter book.
Really?
Midnight it came out.
No.
And
What number in the queue were you?
I was walking past the queue going, shit.
Yeah.
Who's not?
To join the end of it, I can imagine. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not overly keen on like theme parks, like Alton Towers and stuff like that, because you're just queuing constantly.
You're just scared of the rides, really.
Well, yeah,
That's what it is.
Pass.
Right, yeah, well, don't tell me on that.
Let's find out what this is all about then. The 15 most expensive buys on porn stars. Let's do it.
$2,000 here, $3,000 there. It's all just part of an honest day's work for Rick Harrison and the old man of Pawn Stars. His shop will make hundreds of sales a week, but every now and then something special comes through that gets the guy sweating. Here are the top 15 most expensive buys on Pawn Stars. The Harrisons were floored, hook, line, and sinker, when a centuries-old ship bell was brought into their Las Vegas pawn shop by a woman who was looking to make some fast cash. When presented with the bell, Richard Old Man Harrison turned his nose up at it, claiming that it must be a reproduction. The woman who brought it in wasn't thinking it was worth much either, but wanted to give it a shot anyway. It wasn't until they consulted with an expert did they discover that this old ship bell is from 1602 and is worth around $15,000. The Harrisons jumped at the deal when they found out this bell was an original and immediately listed it at a treasure auction catalog.
For how much?
How much stuff have people just got lying around
I know.
that's worth an absolute fortune?
Yep.
Oh, they will do, yeah, absolutely. So I'm assuming it's these two guys in their shop every week. Is this what it?
Have you not seen it?
I've never seen it.
Oh.
No.
No, there's a few.
There's a few. He got his son.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, right,
he works
okay.
there, doesn't he? And,
And then Chumley.
Chumley was a bit of a...
Bit wild, wasn't it?
Is it the same one that we did with Conan? Didn't he do
No,
something?
no,
Was
no,
thing?
that was a
was
different
it?
shop.
Different shop, was it? Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was just me and you that I think. Conan,
That was it.
Conan
Yeah,
goes
we
to a
buying
pawn
some
shop.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
I
right.
must have missed that.
Yeah, it's Chumley got in trouble years ago, didn't he? I think he was found in a hotel room. He was like taking crystal meth and
What's wrong with
had
that?
an unregistered firearm, and he's like living the life.
Standard, right? For living in a hotel room.
Something like that. Anyway. Yeah.
I thought that's what hotel rooms are for.
I didn't realise you could be quite a big
Especially if
guy.
you're living in them.
I didn't realise you could be quite a big guy and take meth. I thought they were mutually
I don't know.
non-exclusive.
What do you think number one? What do you think number one's going to be like? Or the top one?
There's been
All
some
your
expensive
money-wise.
cars on there, haven't there? And like boats and stuff like that. I think there's been in the hundreds of thousands that I've seen.
I think there's one that's been over $1 million.
Really?
Something
You
springs to
guess
mind.
it's something like a painting,
Yeah.
maybe, or
Yeah.
There was one where a
don't
guy
know.
tried to sell a whole his whole shoe collection,
Mm.
but he had like a museum that he'd made, and it was all like Air Jordans and.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
he tried to sell that for over $1 million.
Wow.
I think it was. It was just it was like hundreds and hundreds of pairs of shoes.
yeah.
Put me on here.
Yeah. Some of the Civil War stuff does a lot, or some of the coins actually. There's coins, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a lot though. It's going to be at least
Yeah,
hundreds
it's
of
gotta be.
thousands.
When Adam, a vintage bookseller, brought in a tattered old Book of Mormon to the Harrison's pawn shop, a few eyebrows were raised due to the fact that old books are so easy to reproduce. Rick knows that when it comes to pawning books, you've got to be extra careful. So when the owner, Adam, valued the book at $25,000, Rick knew he had to bring in an expert. After the expert studied the book, she ended up giving it a much higher appraisal than what the owner pitched. She estimated that the value of the book was around $40,000, which is not so crazy to believe considering it was printed by the Mormon prophet himself, Joseph Smith, and was the last Book of Mormon to be published in his lifetime. Richard gave Adam $24,000 for the book instead of $25,000 because that's just how Pawn Stars roll. The Pawn Stars hit the jackpot when one man walked into their shop with a gold bar that was originally found in a shipwreck centuries ago. The owner was apparently cleaning out his grandfather's attic and found the bar tucked away in a box. They priced it initially at $24,000, but that quickly turned to $50,000 when a shipwreck expert was consulted. The bar dates back to 1554 and was apparently one of the many treasures found in the famous Padre Island shipwreck just off of Texas. Rick purchased the bar for $35,000, saving himself $15,000. Talk about pirate's treasure.
When you see all these people, the metal detector guys, and they find like a haul worth 2 million quid, and it'll be like Viking gold and things like that. They always declare it, don't they?
Yeah.
Or we hear about it.
No,
and-
they're the ones that declare it.
Yeah.
That's the ones you hear about.
Well,
Never
yeah.
go through that you don't know about.
Well, I hope there is. I really do.
Yeah.
And I hope the ones that do declare it have kept half and put it in the attic at home. Because
Yeah, just found some of it.
yeah,
It should be like a fucking area, like a country that just for them to go and live.
Yeah.
They should like dig up all the treasure and go and fucking bury it in somewhere like, I don't know, like in New Zealand or something, and fuck them all off over there. They're all weirdos.
you mean the metal detector people?
Find a treasure, dig it up, and then hide it somewhere else.
Yeah, so just to get rid of them.
They'd be just picking shit.
Fucking
wouldn't they?
about on the beach at like 6 o'clock at night, like wandering up and down and like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
you know?
no. A lot of time when they find this stuff, though, like with metal detectors, it can be the property of the government, can't it? And
That's the
stuff
thing.
like that.
It can be the government. It
Could be a
can be
waste
the
of time.
landowner.
Yeah, but you have to leave it. You have to leave it into. You can't just say. I
Kinda
found
goes
this
into
and take
probate, doesn't it?
Goes into it goes in. It's like 60 days waiting period.
Yeah,
Someone
that's right,
can
yeah.
claim it.
Yeah, someone to go. Oh, actually, that's my
Yeah.
Roman coins that are worth 2 million
Yeah,
quid.
I'm 1,350 years old.
Yeah.
They're mine.
Well, we can imagine that. I can believe that.
I would
Got
be.
loads I have.
I'd be smelting in the garden.
I was gonna say.
Like all of this like priceless stuff that's Roman artifacts, I'd have melted it all down and just had gold bars.
I'd have it sold off within about 20 hours.
Yeah,
All gone. Collect it.
just go to the
I found all the
bench.
shit in the garden.
Go to the
mate.
bench hill and
Oh,
make
absolutely,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trade it for like a pack of bacon and a lady shave.
Yeah. Do you know anybody? I don't do it, but I know someone that does.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Find someone
there's always
very quick.
someone.
Yeah.
I couldn't say I found it in my garden because there's a covenant that says I'm not allowed to mine my garden.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's part of owning the property because there's mines underneath. Essentially, the mineral
Collapse.
wealth belongs to.
Salt mines, is it round
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Northwich, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
essentially, I literally had to say I'm not allowed to mine my own land. So
They think you're going to dig up your
Got a
garden to
massive
get some
fucking
salt.
derrick in the garden and start fucking drilling.
Load of salt
For
comes
salt,
up.
yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
Tesco.
why not?
I mean, if it's gold there, I mean,
Yeah.
different kettle of fish.
Just say the
No,
word
that'd be
Fender
worth a
and
few
you know
bucks.
you're dealing with a luxurious guitar. Flick himself was the one who brought this highly valuable guitar into the Pawn Stars shop. And when the Pawn
what's
Stars
this
saw
one?
this musical relic, they nearly lost their minds. Flick recorded songs for the Beatles and Tom Jones on that thing, not to mention his famous guitar riff in the first James Bond movie. Rick ended up taking the guitar for $55,000. Not bad. The car rental company Hertz teamed up with famed entrepreneur Roger Penske to build a fleet of limited edition Mustangs. There's only 150 of these babies in existence. Only 10 drive standard, and one of those 10 belongs to car collector John. He walked into Rick's garage asking for $85,000 and said he wouldn't go lower than $60,000. Rick was a little skeptical, so he asked NASCAR driver Joey Logano to take it for a test drive and give a second opinion. He dubbed it being worth $75,000, which John seemed to be pretty happy about. But Rick couldn't help but go Pawn Star on him and drop his offer down to $60,000. At the end of the day, John took the deal. His sleek and sexy Mustang is now officially pawned.
I do wonder who pawns cars that are really sought after.
Rather than just sell them.
Rather than just sell it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a collector's item. That,
Quick cash in it without them to fuck about.
yeah.
suppose so, yeah, that's the whole point of it, I suppose, in the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tasty looking car, that, though, isn't it?
I'd
Yeah,
probably
just
buy
a
that
bit.
60 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dollars that as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, yeah.
A few
Nice.
years back, though, I reckon
That's
it's worth
not
a
old.
bit
Yeah,
more
It's
than
not
maybe.
that old, that model's not that old.
Do they still make Pawn Stars?
Pawn
The
Star.
programme?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, I think it's still on.
Ah, right, okay.
Rick and the old man will do some pretty crazy things for money, including jetting across the country to
Have you seen this, or have I watched this one?
I've watched loads of it over
I've
the
not
years,
seen
so
it.
I
Definitely
can't
not,
say.
but-
Mike is the judge for this one.
Yeah. Because he buys a coin, doesn't he, for someone else? I think he sources it for someone else.
Oh, right, okay.
find a specific gold coin that a customer requested. The coin in question is a $50 piece that was commissioned by the United States government upon completion of the Panama Canal. The customer said he would pay at the most $70,000 if Rick could somehow manage to track down the coin. Well, Rick did find the coin, but was only able to haggle down to $67,500. He didn't end up making that much on the deal, but at least he's made one more customer happy.
Wow.
One of the Pawn Star's biggest buys was a 1932 custom-built Ford Roadster. It's only one of the most iconic cars of the 20th century. No big deal at all. This car is almost an entire century old, yet the owner, Mike, has somehow been able to keep this rare vehicle in stellar condition. He's put a ton of money and time into maintaining this relic, and was hoping to strike a deal of no less than $70,000 with Rick. After getting an appraisal from an expert claiming the car is worth between $70 and $75 grand, Mike was haggled down to a cool $68,250 for the car, and in the end took the offer.
It's a cool looking car, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's really, but you do wonder sometimes with cars like this how much of it is actually original.
Yeah,
because I was getting
yeah,
new,
yeah.
getting new
Yeah.
body panels on it. Obviously, clearly got new tires, even new wheels, probably in suspension and stuff. So you think, what's original on it?
Car guys always look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the,
Yeah.
that's he's
It's like the
called
uniform, isn't it, for car guys? That.
definitely.
he's called the Count, the guy that came to appraise it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's got Count's Customs, his program. I used to watch that as well.
Right, okay.
I love it though. People buy up a lot of these old cars, but then they do spend a fortune getting the upgraded suspension and
Yeah, of course.
airbags and just like all the modern things.
I mean, I think
ABS.
that a lot of the
and
things do get remade, don't they? Like maybe
Yeah.
replace the leather button, as original sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, do spend a fortune
Just
on
there for
them.
the look, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I said, the look of it is just like no one else is going to offer, are they?
that
not
kind
for
of
me,
like that shaped bonnet. It's such a classic sort of American style vehicle, isn't
Yeah.
it? I like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to look at, but I wouldn't fancy one
It's not for
myself.
me,
But it's nice to see something a bit different sometimes. So.
It's just the steering wheel being on the wrong side that puts me off a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
This valuable piece of metal was brought into the Pawn Star shop by a man who won it randomly in a poker game, which seems to be one of the most typical ways people come into possession of rare coins these days, especially in Las Vegas. The man thought it was maybe worth $20,000 tops, but after consulting a coin expert, it was discovered that this rare American coin is worth between 50 and 100 grand. That's insane. Apparently there are only 10 to 12 of these in existence, making it one of the most rare and coveted coins of all time. Rick ended up striking a deal with the gambling man for $80,000. It's always the small things in life that end up being the most valuable.
Wow.
Right?
I got
incredible
50p
amount.
a couple of weeks ago. I'm like all that change I leave on my desk in the side.
Yeah.
I open and collect it and give it.
Yeah.
To I give it to the local. I don't give it to them. I swap it. Don't know, for notes.
Yeah.
And saw this 50p and I thought looks a bit different from all the others. That. So I was like, looking at it and I thought, I've not seen that before. I thought at first it was a foreign coin.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, some fuckers give me a foreign coin here. Anyway, I went on that, is it Coin Collector or something, the website?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's worth like 30 quid.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
What is it then?
It's like a different 50p. It's like it's rare.
Right.
It's a rare
okay.
50p. Yeah.
My bro
It's
had
worth
one of
like
those.
30 quid. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I've done with it though. I must have fucking left it on the sand. Someone's even put it in a coffee machine.
It's guaranteed.
Also, I'm due to sort that out, by the way. If I find it, I'll let you know.
You do that for 30 quid. Oh,
my bro had one of those 20p's that had no date on it.
yeah.
You remember, like,
I remember him, yeah.
9 years
Yeah,
ago? People were
right.
paying a couple $100 for them at the time. And he kept it in his wallet for about 3 years and just occasionally would talk about it and go, yeah, I've still got it. And then sure enough,
Lost
just
it.
spends it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're worth now, but I wouldn't mind betting it'd be 30, 40 quid
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
for it.
Wow.
Get it gone.
Yeah.
Especially when there's hype about it. There was loads of hype about them at one point, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
Weird though, right? It's
Yeah.
fucking like, just
I know,
looking at it
yeah.
going like, what the fuck's that?
I wonder what that was then.
Yeah. I know.
Weird one.
It's not worth 80 grand though, unfortunately.
There you know.
Once considered the holy grail of Gibson guitars, this piece of musical history just simply could not be ignored when it was brought into Rick's shop by the original owner himself, Stephen Stills, of the folk indie band Crosby. Rick was instantly captivated by how cool this guitar was, and knew he had to have it. The fact that it came with the original bill of sale signed by Stephen Stills himself only made the deal juicier. After going back and forth for a while on it, Rick was able to snag this beauty for $85,000. That's one expensive instrument.
Wow.
You know how we said that the SJ200 was the holy grail of Gibson guitars? Scratch that. This 1961 Gibson belonged to the legendary Les Paul and his wife Mary Ford, who wrote classic hits like Bye Bye Blues and the Tennessee Waltz. Mary's nephew brought the guitar into Rick's shop expecting a pretty penny for his custom Les Paul guitar, and the Pawn Stars definitely took notice. Rick immediately recognized that these babies are incredibly rare, and the fact that this guitar belonged to Les Paul himself just pushes the value over the edge. In the States, the invention of the modern electric guitar is actually credited to Les Paul and his wife Mary, who were considered to be the trailblazers of rock and roll. Knowing the history and the high value of this thing, Rick decided to consult a guitar expert on how much the Gibson is really worth. Upon entering the shop, the guitar expert was nearly lost for words. He noted that the guitar is incredibly well documented and has been featured on numerous record covers, making this instrument somewhat of a celebrity. There's a lot of wear to it, but that's just proof that it's an original. He said that if it's a forgery, it's the best forgery on the planet. The expert said it would be fair for Rick to buy it for $150,000, but Mary's nephew had a higher price in mind. He suggested $250,000, but Rick wouldn't budge. They met well below the pitch value at $90,000. I'm sure Rick is singing right now.
Wow.
Patriots defensive end Brock Williams hit a rough patch financially after he was forced into retirement due to injuries. He needed some fast cash, so he decided to hit the gold and silver pawn shop and see how much he could get for his 2001 Super Bowl ring. The ring itself is legendary, and apparently broke all the rules of Super Bowl jewelry design. Super Bowl rings are only allowed to be 10 carats, weigh so much, and have a certain amount of diamonds. The New England Patriots completely rebelled against these rules and designed their ring to their own personal standards. As of 2001, it was the biggest Super Bowl ring in history, and contains a ridiculous amount of diamonds. Rick bought the ring for only $2,600 and set it up as a loan. Brock had 120 days to come back and reclaim the ring and pay off his loan, but he never returned to the shop, so now it belongs to Gold and Silver. Rick thinks that this ring is easily worth 100 grand. He's been putting off selling it for a while, and says he'll only let it go if someone comes in and offers him a crazy amount of money for it. I have a feeling
Fucking give it a guy back, man.
I know it's
What did you give him? $2.5 grand for it?
£2.5 loan. It's sad that.
I know he's a businessman, but just fucking give it him back.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this the other day, didn't we? About people selling Super Bowl rings. We did a video about skin, like, you know, people who wasted all the money.
Yeah.
I think it's quite sad. It's like the old musicians cashing in on their old instruments as well.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
There's just something a little bit sad about it. That was yours.
Yeah.
You earned it.
Yeah.
Anyone can fall in hard times, I suppose. Just shows, doesn't
Your
it?
dad's or your
You know.
granddad's or whatever it may be, and you don't need it or you don't want it, and yeah, by all means. But
Yeah.
it's obviously plays at financial hard times. It's not valuable to anyone else. Who's going to walk around with a fucking Super Bowl ring that never played in a fucking Super Bowl?
Mike's a Patriots fan. You'd look good in it.
I'd like to own
£2.5
one. one. I put it in like a little case and put it on the
Yeah,
wall.
Yeah,
sort
it
of
looked
thing,
great.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think
He's done
you
it
were-
through necessity, hasn't he? You know, like say it's
if you were
bit sad.
if you'd retired through injury, you'd like to think that some of your teammates would chip
chip
in
in.
and buy that for
Yeah.
you. And I feel like I've said that exact phrase before on this channel.
yeah.
Same.
Maybe.
I think I've seen that.
I feel like I've said exactly what I just said. I've got
What
proper
do you mean?
deja vu.
Deja vu there.
Yeah.
Have you not seen this, Mike?
No, I don't think so.
Some of them are coming back to me a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a little
that
bit weird,
definitely
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Rick just likes to wear the ring on his off hours. The Lincoln Roadster was known to be one of the most powerful cars back in the day. It had a V12 horsepower engine and was made with the luxury driver in mind. When Rick and the old man came across this vintage beauty, they knew they had to have it. The car was in great condition, which made it pretty difficult for Rick to haggle. He didn't make much of a fuss, and in the end bought it for $95,000, which the owner ended up pushing back over the counter to buy $95,000 worth of gold. 2 deals in one. Silver is a hot commodity.
200 poods of silver.
I know, I thought there was
you read
something
that?
missing there.
Oh, it's the end missing, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver is a hot commodity these days, and Rick knows it. So when a man came into his shop with a huge hunk of silver, he had no choice but to make a deal with him. Apparently the man had purchased the silver over 12 years ago, when his father told him to start investing in precious metals. And now that silver has gone up in value, he knew he could get a lot of money for it. Rick didn't want to let this deal pass him by, so he recruited a silver tester to make sure it was genuine. Once the metal was confirmed to be pure, Rick instantly made a deal with the man and bought the silver for $111,000. If there's silver in the Nevada hills, Rick's gonna find it.
I'd love to know what he paid for it years ago.
Silver's dandy, but nothing is more valuable than gold. I guess there's a reason why Rick named his shop Gold and Silver, because when a man came in with 4 gold bars of about 1 kilogram each, Rick didn't even flinch. He knew he had hit the jackpot and made a deal as quickly as he could. Rick ended up buying the gold for $128,000, knowing that he'll be able to get his money back and then some pretty quickly. People who buy gold often know what they want, so it was a no-brainer for Rick. Anything owned by John F. Kennedy seems to be of immaculate value. I mean, if you were blessed to be alive during his reign as president, it isn't hard to see why. When Rick was presented with a box of cigars that used to sit on John F. Kennedy's desk in the Oval Office, he knew that there would be a ton of Kennedy fans waiting on bended knee to shell out a pretty penny for this piece of history. The seller also knew how valuable the box was, and asked for $95,000 for it. Rick managed to haggle down to $60,000, which the seller thought was fair. Joke's on him though, because a few weeks later, Rick sold the cigar box at an auction for $575,000, purchased out by the publisher of Cigar Aficionado magazine. I guess it pays to be in the pawning business.
Oh, wow.
So there you have it, the most expensive buys in Pawn Stars history.
That's brutal. That is so brutal.
Do you think he had an idea?
I think the guy was happy with 60 grand.
Yeah.
You've got to move on, haven't you? If you're happy with that deal, you do. But you still would kick yourself.
I mean, if you were going to do something like that, would you not sort of go online and try and get a bit of information about it before yourself? But it's like, it's when you have a bet and you have the option to cash out. Yeah,
on the
a
bet
bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Again, you don't really know what's going to happen with an auction either. He may have just got a good day where there was a couple of people that really wanted it.
Sometimes just a person wants a particular item, don't they? And they'll just pay whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, true.
I
Depends.
definitely...
Look at a draw sometimes.
The last ones especially, they started ringing proper bells for me, though. But I've seen a lot of porn
I can't remember any
stars.
of them, I must admit, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you've just seen the episodes before, maybe. But...
Possibly, yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.